Marley, taking you through some of the things people are talking about and some of the stuff they're sharing around the world. Newsfeed today. Serena in Paris scoring points on and off the court. Trash back. Asian countries say no thanks to being a garbage dump for the West. Aspiring politicians in Ukraine made to take a lie detector test. That needle is going to be going all over the place. And not enjoying your job? No, you're not ungrateful, you're burned out. It's now a medical condition. And top of our newsfeed, Serena Williams, arguably the world's greatest sports person, is competing at the French Open in Paris. But where Serena goes, controversy and commentary seem to follow. Here's Adama.
Serena's made her comeback at the French Open this week. And she did not disappoint. She won her first match against Russia's Vitalia Diachenko, making a point with both her racket and her game. Last year, Serena was criticized for wearing a Nike catsuit, a compression garment that helped prevent blood clots after the birth of her daughter Alexis. The French Tennis Federation said it violated the dress code and promptly banned the outfit from future matches. Fast forward a year, and Serena is back in a custom Nike black and white piece designed by Virgil Abloh of Off-White and Louis Vuitton fame. The words Mother, Champion, Queen and Goddess are written on it, in French. Miss Williams won the Australian Open in 2017 while pregnant, and her Instagram is full of pictures of her daughter. For many, she's become the symbol of a working mother who can have it all, which is why her continued support for Nike is jarring to some. The former world #1 has backed her biggest sponsor, even after the brand was exposed for cutting female athletes' pay during and after pregnancy. A policy that affected the likes of US track and field star Allyson Felix.
Winning 23 Grand Slams, having a baby, and then coming back for more? Crazy, crazy, crazy.
Nike has since changed its stance. And Serena, who's the face of its latest ad campaign, Dream Crazier, says it's all about learning from mistakes.
And they said they want to make a change and they want to support women that want to have families and that want to be moms. And I'm glad that statement was made. And I know that herefor and going forward, they're doing better. I believe that in the past, people don't perceive women athletes and having babies at the same time as they can still be athletes. And I feel like as time goes on and as technology changes and as the world changes, people realize that we have to change our policies.
The athlete's last major win was that 2017 Australia Open title. She struggled with a knee injury, which forced her to drop out of the Italian Open earlier this month. But now she's back, and her tennis and outfits speak for themselves.
Now, Western countries have been dumping their waste in Asia for decades. Well, not for much longer. Countries from China to the Philippines have taken a stand, demanding the nations doing the dumping clean up the mess they've made. Here's Liz to explain.
Waste from the West has turned Southeast Asia into the world's rubbish dump. But now some countries are demanding it take back its trash. The Philippines has threatened to dump 69 containers of garbage in Canada's waters if it refuses to accept the returned rubbish. President Rodrigo Duterte says he would do it himself. He's even threatened to go to war with Canada and recalled top diplomats.
That recall shows that we are very serious in asking them to get back their garbage. Otherwise, we're gonna sever relations with them.
It's part of a wider regional pushback that began last year, after China stopped accepting plastic waste from the rest of the world. The government calculated that the environmental impact far outweighed the short-term profit. Countries like Thailand, Malaysia and Vietnam were then swamped with trash. But since then, they've passed laws to prevent toxic electronic waste coming into their ports.
Ever since China closed its doors to receiving trash for recycling, these richer countries are looking into Southeast Asian nations to process their waste. It's obvious that they cannot process it. We will not process it. So the only way to solve this in the long term is for them to reduce their own waste and their own consumption.
Only 9% of plastic is recycled. The rest ends up in landfills or is illegally incinerated. And while there's a renewed push in the West to reduce, reuse and recycle, the problem right now is overwhelming, overflowing, and it's clear some countries are sick of being treated like trash.
Okay, let's take a look at some of the other things that caught our eye on social media. As Ramadan draws to a close, some tech firms have said they've seen an increase in the time users are spending on their apps. The Associated Press are reporting that people in the Middle East are on Facebook for an additional 2 million hours during Ramadan. Yeah, that's 2 million more. And YouTube gets an increase of 151% in terms of viewers across the region. This image is going viral. It's a very rare albino panda and was caught by a camera trap in southeast China. Scientists say it's the first time one has been photographed. And Egg Boy, aka William Connolly, has posted on Insta to say all the money raised for his legal fees after he did this to an Australian politician has been transferred to the Christchurch Foundation and Victim Support Group. Egg Boy did what he did because that guy, the Senator Fraser Anning, blamed the murders of 51 people at mosques in New Zealand on immigration. Egg Boy has been dubbed a hero by some. Now, the Indian elections are over and Narendra-modi is back in power for another 5 years. It was the biggest democratic exercise on earth, with 600 million people voting in 7 phases over a 4-week period. But it's another number, 233, that's causing all the chatter online. Have a look at this. Let's go around the world now for some other stories you need to know this Tuesday. Volodymyr Zelensky, Ukraine's new president, is a comedian who actually played the president in a TV show. Now he's looking for more political newbies to join his new party. He's encouraging wannabe politicians to register on a new website, but one of the conditions for applicants is that they may have to take a lie detector test. The Ethiopian government has had to say sorry after a map on its foreign ministry website didn't have Somalia on it. The two countries have fought wars, but they have been friends recently. The mistake was picked up on social media and widely mocked. The Ethiopian government has apologized profusely, saying it regrets any confusion and misunderstanding. Riots in a prison in Brazil have left at least 42 people dead. Violence broke out at a correctional facility on Monday in the state of Manaus. It's reported that many of the inmates were strangled to death. Gang violence is being blamed. There's only one Sumatran rhino left in the whole of Malaysia. The last male has died on the island of Borneo, leaving behind a single sole female called Iman. There are only about 80 of the subspecies left worldwide. It's the smallest of the rhino species and has been declared extinct in the wild due to habitat loss and poaching. And an amazing story of survival from the United States. This is a woman being airlifted there called Amanda Ehlers, and she was hiking in Hawaii when she got lost very lost. She wandered around the jungle in circles for 17 days before she was finally found and taken to safety. A Facebook page called Find Amanda documented the search for her and her friends, and as volunteers from all over the community pulled together to try and track her down.
The last 17 days of my life have been the toughest days of my life. And it's been a really significant spiritual journey that I was guided on. And there were times of total fear and loss and wanting to give up, and it did come down to life and death, and I had to choose. And I chose life. I wasn't going to take the easy way out.
And next, you will have heard about the draconian and frankly dangerous new laws against abortion in the US state of Alabama. But did you know it may disproportionately affect black women?
This law will have a devastating impact on the patients that I serve. We know that abortion care is health care. It is very necessary in many instances.
About pro-life or the right to life. This bill is about control. People are going to have abortion. The problem is it's going to always be unsafe, inaccessible for those people who have lesser means.
So yesterday we told you about the World Health Organization classifying video game addiction as a disease. Today we bring you another shocker. Burnout is officially a medical condition. Ezra explains.
Question. After years of reaching your goals and conquering challenges, have you stopped caring about your job? Do you drag yourself to the office every day? And are you more Candy Crush than crushing your targets? Well, there's a word for this feeling. It's called burnout. And the World Health Organization has given it a medical diagnosis in its International Classification of Diseases, or ICD. The classification tries to put to rest decades of debate over how to define burnout and whether it should even be considered a medical condition. The World Health Organization says burnout is a syndrome that results from chronic workplace stress that has not been successfully managed. And they say it's characterized by three things. 1. Feeling of energy depletion or exhaustion. 2. Increased mental distance from one's job or feelings of negativism or cynicism related to one's job. And 3. Reduced professional efficacy. But Reddit co-founder Alexis Ohanian says our behavior on social media often contributes to burnout.
I've spoken out quite a bit on things like hustle porn and this ceremony of showing off on social about how hard you're working, which is so.
Is that what hustle porn is? I've not really understood what it. Does anyone know what hustle porn is?
Y'all see it on Instagram, and you certainly see it in the startup community, and it becomes really toxic.
The World Health Organization's updated ICD list, known as ICD-11, will take effect in January 2022. So, will this new category encourage businesses to try and improve their employees' work-life balance?
And for animals doing stuff, check out this majestic-looking creature. This incredible photo of a bald eagle swooping over a pond in Canada has gone viral, as you can imagine it would. It was posted by a photographer called Steve Byro, who added this slow-mo video of the bird in flight. And he says that he has been overwhelmed by the response of people on social. That will do from the Newsfeed team. Reach out to me with your questions, comments, complaints and suggestions. You'll find us 24/7 on YouTube. Be sure to subscribe to our channel. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram. See you again very soon.